Alright, I'm going to do a super brief guide on the Orbital Omen dodges if you're trying to do the melee uptime where the boss is remaining in the middle and you are staying in melee range for the whole mechanic. I see a lot of people doing the sort of corner dodge where they put the boss in such a way that he doesn't cleave basically any of the arena, but obviously that comes with the caveats of boss positioning and also an immense amount of downtime for your melees depending on the pattern you get. So I'm going to tell you about the three patterns that basically exist for the melee dodge and why it is maybe seemingly intimidating, but actually quite easy once you do it. The most important thing that happens on the beginning of this mechanic is that when the boss is centered here, that the main tank positions him in such a way that he's pointed as close to perfectly north as possible. It's not insanely precise, but the better you do this, the better odds your team has to dodge the Fire and Fury Caspar that's going to come later, where he cleaves in front of him and behind him. So the three patterns that can exist for this mechanic are essentially a corner that's of the tile spawns instantly in the middle. And this is rather easy because you simply wait next to him and dodge into it with one diagonal movement. The other pattern, which is extremely similar, is that no lines shoot through the middle on the first pattern, such as maybe that 2 is getting cleaved twice or 4 is getting cleaved twice. And the second corner spawns in the middle. This dodge is exactly the same as the first dodge, except you just wait to see one meteor fly through the middle first before you move through. And this dodge that I'm going to go in more detail about is what our static either called the 2-move pattern or the compound dodge pattern. So how this will start is that the first line that is going to show up through the middle is not a 2 line. So in this example, a corner has spawned in the outside quadrant. However, one of the meteor parts is cleaving through the middle. The way you need to think of this solve is to treat this line as your new north. No matter what or where this line comes through, you're always going to shimmy to the opposite side of it. So we're going to consider this like a south line. It's cutting through the south side of the boss. So we need to dodge to the north side. No matter what, you can just pre-move now to the north side of the boss. The second thing we're going to look for is where did the corner spawn afterwards? We can actually use this corner over here to predict early on that it's going to be up in this side because of how the spawning permutations work. It makes it so that the corners are always opposite of each other on this first set. But you don't even need to identify this. As long as you're knowing right away, this is my new sort of dodge line, I need to get away from it, the next dodge becomes extremely obvious and apparent. So you see, I'll move here, and the second corner spawns. So now you know I need to end the mechanic in this corner to keep melee uptime. And if with those pieces in mind, the dodge is actually really simple. To start in this corner, to dodge the first line that showed up. Move south to dodge the corner that spawned in melee range. And then diagonally so that you'll dodge the eventual true north-south line that is going to show. So now that you have all your movements ready, the most important thing is to be as close east-west as possible so you dodge this Fire and Fury cast. And then it's always one horizontal movement like this, and then one diagonal movement like that. So we wait for the Caspar. Everyone's snapshot is going to be a little different here, so you'll have to play around to find out when yours is. Mine was basically at the exact end of it. Start moving over. I now will be dodging this line that's going to be coming, which is where I want to end it eventually. Then I move diagonally through. And once you're diagonally through, you can simply stay here. You don't have to do any more movement. Some people will often get clipped by this because they're not either aligning themselves correctly at the beginning of the mechanic, because either it spawned like going from east to west and they weren't ready for that, or they're just not understanding that it's two distinct different movements where it's one horizontal movement and then one diagonal movement. I'll play it one more time to show you sort of the whole mechanic resolving. Ride the snapshot on that cast bar. So the Orbital Omen casts. We see that it is instantly, again, we know this is going to be the 2-move pattern because no corner is spawned in the middle and there is a line in the middle. So we go north to dodge this, and we know that later we'll have to go between A and B because that's the corner that is showed up in melee first. So we do 1 move over and 2 move through. You can actually see I have plenty of time to dodge these actual damage lines that are coming through. So I'm hoping that'll help people who are trying to squeeze out a little more DPS, especially as the check on this fight is extremely tight, and avoiding the damage downs on the way there. So good luck on your clear.